So I pursued my graduation in BTech, that's in communication and engineering. Post that, I've done my corporate MBA. Entrepreneurship is something, a dream for every person. In India, everyone would love to do that. 24 hours is ticking for every individual in the same way. The only person who took an extra foot, an extra hand, or an extra minute is the one who stands aside. That's actually most wonderful experience any MBA guy should have. That is the only thing, changes your way of thinking.
Hi, I welcome you to Changemakers by ABBS podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for your invite, Nita. I'm very happy to be with you right now.
So, before we begin a passion conversation, of the mind, tell us more a bit about what's been your journey so far and also the work that you do.
So basically, I'm from the very southern part of this India, the agricultural land from IP, the coastal area, Vishakhapatnam. So I pursued my graduation in BTech, that's in communication and engineering. Post that, I've done my corporate MBA. I've done in dual specialization, that's with marketing and HR, dual specialization in a B school, that is from Acharya. So that Acharya B school has given me a very good opportunity, and I've been with multiple, MNCs. I work almost for 9 years currently, having my experience in the industry, and also I pursued my career. I've become an entrepreneur. I just started my clinic, which is a physiotherapy clinic. So very crisp. This is my profile. I got a very good experience with the 9 years in different sectors. I started with sales as my career, and then I've moved to operations in travel industry, and then I've now currently doing the compliance of the operations with the biggest firm in India, the biggest firm in the world itself, it's Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what inspired your journey from corporate roles to entrepreneurship?
So, entrepreneurship is something, a dream for every person. Everyone would love to do that, but the opportunities, the kind of wisdom they have doesn't allow, and the kind of situations which they face in the day to day doesn't allow them to pursue that. But my way of looking into it is has been changed when I've done my MBA. I always have the dream when I was young, but I never knew what is the way, how to get into it, because the way our education system has been built, we never thought about how to create a product or how to create the process. All we know is how to manage the process. My education system taught me what I'm supposed to do with that product. They never given me insight how I have to create a new product like that. So that's where the lacking. So we always thought about how to work on that. But post my MBA, I realized that there is some way. So that is what actually triggered me. While I'm working, I just done this career. I'm pursuing right now, whatever career I'm doing with my corporate is actually gaining some experience and gaining some wisdom. Because unless until I know the market, I can't get it to the market. So that is what actually helped me with this career. And parallelly, I'm pursuing whatever my dream is all about.
So, how do you manage this challenge of growing the business along with having the corporate career as well?
I should say thanks to Amazon because it's a very good company. They never, the work life balance is absolutely fine. Okay.
Yeah.
They never, taunt us even after the working hours or something like that. So that's a very nice place to work. So being a part of Amazon, I leverage my skills first thing. And number two, to start an entrepreneurship, obviously you have to put hell lot of time, right? That's the only ask an entrepreneur should do every time when he has to move forward, because the 24 hours is ticking for every individual in the same way. The only person who took an extra foot, an extra hand, or an extra minute is the one who stands aside from the others. That's who is an entrepreneur is actually. So he has to take his time out of his life, build his career, and once the platform is set, there is a cakewalk.
Absolutely, like you said. So, what key quotes from your playing with an opposition background and being forced by the founder?
Yes. Sales is something we'll hit on the ground. Okay. We'll go directly onto the customers and we'll talk. So it's like man to man kind of an approach. My sales is something like a very raw, rustic sales. I used to do as a career development executive. So I used to talk with every individual at least for an hour. I used to have a session with every client and try to understand what is their need, and then I try to I deliver my product. I have a bunch of products with me, but I need to know what exactly he is looking for. There might be some case that he might not be looking for anything, but I should I must be the person to create the need and deliver my product. There are some instances like that as well. That is what the ask of the company might be. Right or wrong, that's the secondary part. But yes, this is the kind we are working in the corporate. So when we hit the root levels, that is where we'll realize what exactly the need of an individual, what is the need of a demographic dividend is there. So that actually helped to build my current clinic, what I'm doing, what I'm pursuing, I'm in the entrepreneurship. That actually helped me very lot. Because see, for example, if I have to run my clinic, I have done a physiotherapy clinic. So basically the bunch of people coming over here is about 40 plus or 50 plus. Because that is when your body doesn't support you metabolically and you'll be aching all over the places, and that's when the people come and sit in the physio. So my hitting of target customers is of around above age of 40 plus. So that is what I have to look into. So the place where I have arranged my clinic is having a radius of around 10 to 15 kilometers of residential area, where most of the people have started or they have built their houses around 20 to 30 years back. So probably by now they have reached around the age of 40 to 50, or they're getting at the age or the verge of retirement. So this is the kind of demographic people I have here. So very sure there might be obviously I hope they won't get any of those issues, but still I'm the person available whenever they have some issue. Because if someone is just nearby at your doorstep at your service, they're ready to take it, right? So that is how this sales has helped me actually. Whenever a client comes into my clinic, I'll just have a chat of around 20 minutes. I just understand what is the root cause of his problem. Every time, whenever a problem arises to a person, we just don't simply start, doing the therapy. Before doing therapy, I'll just try to have a chat with him and understand what is the root cause of your problem. See, for example, IT guy, the very common thing which they come up with is a cervical spondylitis. You know why? Because the posture what they sit is absolutely wrong. The way they look into the laptop is absolutely wrong. They doesn't adjust the height from the eye side. They don't do all this stuff because they got messed up with their entire time frame, and they just don't maintain that posture correctly. That's the very small mistake which they do. End of the 10 years, the line of 10, 15 years, they're coming up with cervical spondylitis. So we should understand what is the source of every problem. We should start correcting from there. That is how my sales thing has been done. And coming to operations is a very unique thing which everybody should know in their life. It's a basic thing which every person has to know. It's not into the corporate or something. Every human has to know how does operations work, because that is how the streamlining of the process happens. So I does the same thing here. I just understand how to run my clinic. I simply can't talk about therapy, or simply I can't just blabber them around. I just streamline through a process. I'll just welcome him. I'll make him sit comfortable. I'll just create a nice atmosphere, and then I'll understand what is the issue. Then we talk about the root cause. Then we will say this is the kind of things we'll go through. Blah blah blah. So this streamlining process is something operations has that. That is how actually my experience has turned out into key skills.
So, you have a moment in your organization itself where you have improved some processes that led to a major breakthrough.
Yes. So I previously worked with Oracle Stays Private Limited, commonly known as OYO Rooms, probably. That is our biggest, startup which I worked for. I worked as an AGM over there, assistant general manager, into the operations department. So the major issue what we used to face over there is around 50 to 40 bunch of people used to work under me. So the kind of report which I get from them and the kind of results which I see in the market, they never matches. Okay. There is some way we have to streamline this process, or some way we have to, just bridge that gap, so that I just want to be transparent from there and at this end, so that we need to catch the fish where exactly the issue is happening. So that's when I started a very small conventional method called checklist. So this prototype, what I have done basically is like I've created a small pro forma, okay, that works in my tab. In whatever the person who does the check-ins, he has that in his tab. Whenever a customer enters my portfolios, we'll just walk him through the whatever room he is allotted. We'll just only take 2 minutes of his time. We'll just try to explain what all the services we provide.
Yeah.
So that checklist comprises everything, whatever the customer has asked before his check-in. He might be asking for a breakfast, he might be asking for an air condition, he might be asking for a hot water, he might be asking for a clean room, he might be asking for a proper TV setup or a Wi-Fi setup. He might be asking for a number of amenities. He might be asking, but end of the day, in the review, he'll be just saying that I haven't got in this or I haven't got that. That exactly pull down the business, or that exactly increase the business. So this checklist thing, what I made is that, so brother, whenever a person enters, whenever a client enters, you have to make sure you have to give a demo for only 2 minutes. You shouldn't take more than that. Within this 2 minutes, you have to make sure all these checklists have been signed off from the client. Only if he got satisfied. If he isn't satisfied, you just change the room.
Right.
Because end of the day, customer is our priority. He has come out here just for his comfort. He just want to get relaxed. So we have to provide that comfort. That is what as hospital is all about. So this process has actually improved, my portfolio. Whatever I have looked at, for around 60 to 70 properties are under my portfolio at that point of time. Way around it's in 2022, 2020, that point of time, before COVID, basically. That point of time, this is what I did actually. Okay? This process actually helped me. This is a very old conventional method. This has been in textbooks very long time, but people have forgot to use it. That's it. These are the tools which we have that actually helped me a lot.
Absolutely. Whether it is service business or product development, keeping customers upfront is always the best idea and best practice to follow.
He's the one actually put money in our DB, so yeah, we have to make him happy.
Right. How has your MBA shaped your strategic thinking and decision making?
See, my college is actually, ABB is particularly because I have done MBA over there. The way they have, from the day one, the moment you step into the ABBS, the very first meet will be happening with our director, Mr. At my point of time, he is Mr. HR Venkatesha. He is the guy actually changed the whole point of looking what an MBA should be. He never talked to me, or he never spoke about an MBA. He always used to use a particular term called corporate MBA, because he never mentioned that it is an MBA or a PGDM. He used to say it's a corporate MBA. Why it is a corporate MBA? The way he used to portray us, we felt like we are an entrepreneur when we are sitting into the class. That is how he has built us. Okay, very small things he used to let us know, because when we are in engineering or we are from any other background, the way we dress up is obviously doesn't match the profiles. Okay, because it doesn't ask the need. Because if, for example, if an engineer has to go at work, he don't need to come up with a plain suit, right? He'll just work whatever the requirement is there. But an MBA guy, he has to groom himself very much. No matter whatever the situation, whatever the odd is, the grooming is very important. The way he talks is very important. The way he presents himself is very. It starts from there. Okay. That is what he has taught us. Strategy thinking, how it helped me is like, because it's for 2 years of MBA. I hardly been there for 1 year, because the second year I have got into the the placement, and I've been asked to work, and I used to come back and give my exams. That is what happened. Even in this for 1.5 years also, whatever I've been in my PBS, I can hardly say 30% I have been in my class. The remaining time, I either used to be in some seminar, or I myself used to be conducting some seminars, to be a part of some other events, because they never used to ask me sit and learn in the class. Because whatever outside in the world we are doing, that is actually MBA.
Yeah.
They never asked to sit.
Where's the confidence and planning?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have almost met around, in that span of 1.5 year, I met around roughly 60 to 70, entrepreneurs. They used to walk into our campus. They used to share their experience. That's actually most wonderful experience any MBA guy should have. Then and only, that is the only thing, change your way of thinking. Actually, that is the best part I had in my MBA. Actually, that helped me. When we are a part of an MBA, we used to create our own cells. So I was the one heading entrepreneurship cell. So when we are heading entrepreneurship, it's not like just like bunch of crazy guys sitting over there and doing some stuff. When we say we have to create some cell, it's completely corporate sector. Like for example, if an organization, our hierarchy is there, the same way we have built this. I have built a marketing team, I have built a PR team, I have built a HR team is there in that. Everybody has been in. Even whoever has to enter into that cell, there has been an interview process as well. We have created an interview, because we just want to replicate how the corporate works. Yeah. That there's a professor, Mr. Ani. He is behind us, and he helped me, how to strategize all these things. We eventually done a lot of events there, and we also thought of doing a small startup. Technically, few reasons we couldn't do it, but is the one has implanted us that point of time. That actually helped me.
Absolutely. So, what advice would you like to give to professionals who would like to start something of their own?
So, Nita, I can say one thing pretty sure. This is what my experience, what I realized it. Whenever we have a thought in our mind, okay, it might be a unique thought, but you never think that this is the only unique thought which you have. Because whenever you're getting an idea in your mind, exactly in the same timeline, around another 10 to 15 people from different geographical locations, same plan will be implanted into their head. Out of these 10 to 15 people, at least 8 to 9 guys will take it seriously. At least 5 people will try implementing. Out of them, at least 2 people will be successful and one will be the prime. This is the formula, happens everywhere. I'll give you a very short example for this. Back in 2017, when we have started our career, I've been to IIM for one seminar, and we've been toppers over there for some event. So that point of time, they asked us to, it's just an event where we have to create one business model within a stipulated time with entire performer, whatever its requirement, even with the costing effect, everything we have to replicate over there. So it's a period of 1 hour of time period. You have to replicate it. So that point of time, I have created two models. One is with the food truck, and the other one is like automation of restaurants. Okay. So automation of restaurants is something like you don't need to. There is no intervention of a man over there. Everything will be sophisticated. Whenever you just enter into the restaurant, all you need to do is just on your table itself, the tab will be situated. Just whatever you need to require, just take the orders over there. That's it. With a clock will run over there for at least 1 or 2 hours, whatever time it needs. By the time it ends, your food comes to your table through a belt. This is what we have given there. It might be crazy that point of time, but yeah, I liked it. I like the thought. I just given that this will be the cost and everything I've given. I don't know how it happened. Just 2 years later, it actually came into that. It's not a unique thought. I thought it is very unique for me because those people have appreciated a lot that point of time. But actually, the same thought has come to some other person. He has the opportunity to do it. He has done it. But I was still pursuing my MBA that point of time. I don't have that much opportunity, but still it came into the picture. So then I realized whenever we have an idea, somebody will be working on that for sure. So when you got your time, you have to step it immediately. You shouldn't wait for the opportunity. Rather, you create the opportunity. Only then you will become an entrepreneur. That is what the advice which I would like to give. Great advice, and would say it should not be like you got an idea because many ideas comes and goes. So which one you're picking up and which you're sticking to that, it matters actually. It's not picking up that, it's not just starting the business, it's also executing it. Proper execution is what will take you away. So, okay, on that, it has been an insightful conversation with you, and thank you so much for joining us in here. Absolutely. We know that you are a busy person, but we are very glad that you joined. You find time for us and you joined us. Not a problem. Actually, I am very, very glad and very happy because you just cherished all the memories, whatever I had back there, and it's very happy. Very nice talking to you. Thank you so much.